It's time for our weekly arts and culture segment. As always, our culture correspondent Song Yujin joins me here in the studio. Happy Friday, Yujin.
Happy Friday, Jungmin.
What do you have for us today?
Well, Jungmin, today I want to talk about the show that South Korea is caught up in great excitement. It's the Netflix's cooking competition show, Culinary Class Wars. Now, personally, I think that what made this show such a big hit is not only just the intense competition between the chefs, but also their individual stories that unfolded throughout the 12-episode series. And throughout the 100 chefs who participated in the program, the journey of Korean-American Edward Lee left a lasting impression on viewers, especially here in Korea, thanks to the meaningful reason behind his decision to join the show. So for those who want to hear more about his story, first, take a look at my exclusive interview with the chef himself.
나에게는 에드워드라는 미국 이름이 있지만 저는 한국 이름도 있어요. 나에게 한국 이름은 균입니다. 그래서 이 요리는 이균이 만들었어요.
It looks like tteokbokki, Korea's beloved street food, but it's actually a creamy semi-freddo paired with a drink made of Korean melon, minari, and makgeolli. Chef Edward Lee's final creation on Netflix's Culinary Class Wars is a symbol of the journey he's embarked on throughout the show. So why did the winner of Iron Chef America and White House State Dinner guest chef choose to return to competition? In an exclusive interview with Arirang, Chef Lee explains why.
I've been lately sort of rediscovering a lot of my Korean food heritage. And it just so happened that around the same time, it was a way for me to tell a personal story.
Chef Lee's culinary journey began and flourished in New York before moving to Kentucky and later Washington, D.C. Though he has spent most of his life in the U.S., his connection to Korea has always remained strong.
Even when I wasn't cooking Korean food, I always use Korean flavors, whether it's gochujang or doenjang or kanjang or, you know, the things. I grew up eating my grandmother's Korean food. And I think that's just part of my DNA.
Culinary Class Wars gave Chef Lee a unique chance to reconnect with that heritage through food. Throughout the show, he challenged himself to step away from his comfort zone, Southern American cuisine, and mostly try dishes he'd never cooked before.
The culture of Korea seems so far away, but it's really not. And it's also part of my culture too. There's a lot of people who have been saying, especially Korean Americans, who have been saying that I've never seen my story told on TV in such a big stage.
Cooking has been Chef Lee's dream since he was 10 years old. But over the years, it has evolved into something much more meaningful.
There's something just magical about being in a room full of people eating and smiling and laughing and having conversations. And I think you don't get that energy anywhere else.
So, what's next for the celebrated chef? He isn't planning to slow down anytime soon to get his job done.
Ultimately, my job as a chef is to bring happiness to people. And if I can continue to do that, then I've done my job.
Edward Lee started Culinary Class Wars as the world-renowned chef many of us know. But by the end, he has revealed something deeper to the world. He's not just Edward Lee. He's Edward Kyun Lee.
요즘에 너무너무 행복하고 너무 감사합니다.
A world-class chef, but so humble. I kind of see why he gets such a devoted following.
You're right, Jungmin. And based on my interview that I did with him, what I found really inspiring about Chef Lee is his relentless passion and energy, because a lot of people, including myself, thought that he has achieved it all. He has a really stellar career, but he's keep on challenging something new, like his participation in Culinary Class Wars. And he says that those challenges is really what makes him really feel alive, and it gets him going. So with Netflix just announcing this week that Culinary Class Wars will return with a season 2, we might be able to see him return to the show with a brand new role. And beyond cooking, Chef Lee is running the Lee Initiative as well, which is a nonprofit organization that offers leadership programs for women chefs and also mentorship for young aspiring chefs as well.
You never know. And Eugene, even though the first season of Culinary Class Wars ended last week, it's still drawing new viewers. I heard they launched a new service to cater to a broader audience.
You're right. So on Tuesday, Netflix started offering its audio description service for Culinary Class Wars Season 1. Now, this feature provides narration describing everything that's happening on screen, such as physical actions, facial expressions, costumes, and scene changes, making it accessible to those with visual impairments. So I personally hope that the streamer will expand this service to more languages so that the show can reach an even wider audience.
For sure. All right, our culture correspondent, Song Yujin, thank you, and I'll see you next week.
Always a pleasure.